Hey guys, we've got a Dropzone Commander battle report for you today. 2,500 points of Shaltari versus United Colonies Man. Today we decided to play one of the more specialized objective-based games. So this is a land grab. The bases that you see all over the table are potential objectives, and 7 of them have a dot of purple paint on the bottom. Those 7 are actual objectives, and the rest of them are phonies. So we're going to be racing around trying to grab up as many of those as we can to try to find some real objectives. And we're playing the variant, which is search the crash site. So we have a crashed flame drake here, and it is going to represent a focal point. That's going to be worth more points if we take it. So that's our board, and we're getting ready to set up. The Shaltari have that side, and the UCM have this side. We'll walk you down the armies. First off, the Shaltari War Fist formation. We have 3 Kukris and 2 Caimans. Then we have the primary armored battle group, 6 Tomahawks and 3 Kukris. For the command, we have a Coyote with the level 5 commander, 2 Ocelots and Firstborns. We have, as the spear tip, 5 Shaltari Yaris and 2 Firstborn bases. For our second standard armored group, we have 4 Tarantulas. Infantry formation, we have 3 groups of Braves and a Totem Warspire. Then for our gates, we have 3 Eden gates, 1 Gaia Heavy Gate, 2 Spirit Light gates, there they are, and 4 Haven Terra gates. And then I'm proxying 2 models today. I'm going to use these 2 Thunderbirds as War Spears. I don't have them yet and I haven't played them, so I'd like to give them a try today. For the UCM, we have here 4 Wolverines, Kodiak ACV with a level 5 commander, Ferrum drone base. We have 3, this is an infantry formation. We have 2 groups of infantry and bears with a condor, and then 3 rapiers with a condor. We have the same thing here, 2 groups of infantry and a condor, and then 2 longbow howitzers in ravens. We have 9 sabers in an albatross. We have 4 gladius and 2 scimitars. And then for the exotic formation, we have 2 groups of Praetorians in ravens and a group of sniper Praetorians in ravens. So that is armies, and walked you down the board, showed you, as you can see, there are 40 total of these markers. And the ones that are in buildings, we're going to play them as if they're on top of the buildings to add a little bit more risk to climbing up there and getting them. So that's pregame, and we'll be back after turn 1. Turn 1 has just come to an end. We revealed 10 objectives total of the 40. The Shaltari found 1. The Ocelots came up here, dropped out onto the roof, and they found 1. And then the UCM found 1 in the street. The bear picked it up. As far as damage, I don't think I took any damage that turn, did I? Nope. So the UCM mostly moved in. They knocked 9 points out of this building, and he lost 1 of his Wolverines down this street from the Caiman laser pods. And then the Caimans and the Tomahawks fired into this building, which is where the sniper Praetorians deployed in. They had some really good rolls for fallen masonry, and that finished that whole squad off. The Praetorians checked this building and that building, and then the armor deployed down the streets. We got 1 of the infantry platoons here, the scimitars, and then the Wolverines, the Kodiak, the Ferrum, and then the armor deployed in mass down here with the other infantry formation. So that's the end of turn 1, and we'll be back as soon as we get turn 2 finished up. We're back at the end of turn 2. In this turn, last turn, the Shaltari and the UCM each got 1 objective off the table. The bear that found 1 down here was able to get in the condor and get off with it. Or this was this turn, I'm sorry, not last turn. And then the one that the Ocelots found here on the roof, the Gaia took it off the table with him. The UCM also found 1 in this building, but that objective was, the guys that were on that objective were cut down through falling masonry. The Tomahawks hit the building, and the Ocelots hit the building, and the Caimans hit the building, and that pulped them. There's 10 points left in that building. Everything else spread out. The drones flew in, and these little guys learned how to fly since our last game. I threw 3 kukris here and 3 kukris here on reactionary fire. I scored 7 or 8 hits, but I rolled 1s on all but one of them. So those guys flew straight through that. The gate did get one with its reactionary fire because it got too close, but then they fired their Star Sprite missiles, and that poor gate was history at that point. Popped in some buildings, popped around the table looking for objectives. No other ones were found that turn. And as far as damage, not much happened there either, really. I lost that gate. He lost, I'm trying to remember, the infantry here in this building, and I think that was about it. Oh, he also lost his Praetorians. They loaded up and came off of this roof to fly up towards the center. My 2 war spears flew on from this corner. He had one of these that was left for reactionary fire, and unfortunately I lost one of the war spears before I got to do anything. But the second war spear tagged that, blew it up in the air, and on a 4+ the squads were destroyed, and I rolled a 4 for each squad. So that did knock out that whole Praetorian team. So that was kind of a big blow for him. But that's where we stand right now. It's UCM 2, Shaltari 2, so still a very close game, and anything could happen. We'll be back at the end of turn 3. Turn 3 has concluded. The Shaltari found an objective here in the street. The firstborns dropped out and got it, and then got out. So the kukris also found one right here. The UCM played in an underground monorail and ran across to this building to get out of this one since it was starting to get hit really hard. Damage-wise, let's see. We really didn't hurt each other too bad that turn. The kukris did move up here and down the albatross because this guy also found an objective. I forgot about that one. The sabers did. So down the albatross to try to slow him down to get off the table. The rest of the grav cannons came in, didn't really do much with the 2 that were here in the beginning of the turn. Tomahawks moved up, incidental fire. Ocelots put a crap ton of damage into this building, but the infantry are just proving too resilient. I only did 3 damage points. Fast mover came on, knocked 1 whole point out of this condor. So that's where we're at right now. We'll be back after turn 4. End of turn 4. The Shaltari are running with 2 objectives. We got the kukris moving with 1. We got the Yaris running with another. We lost this gate. These guys came to the wall and blew it up, so the Yaris had to grab that one and bail with it. Let's see. These flew in here. They were unable to do any damage here. They got, I think, 1 hit and passive shrugged it. This lost 1 damage point before these guys climbed up and started shelling down here. They destroyed the 1 saber that was holding the objective. What am I forgetting? The bear that was right here that was going to check this objective, the Tomahawks moved up, checked these 2, no objectives there. They fired here and destroyed the bear. Rapier spread out to provide air cover as his squad came back on from reserve. They flew up here, dropped out of their bear, which is there in the shadows, and climbed into the building, reclaimed the objective. Luckily, my fast mover came in, went to the deck, fired and destroyed their condor to try to strand them on the table. These guys reaction fired and hit me twice, and both of those were shrugged by the passive save. Coyote moved up in the center and destroyed one of the Wolverines. The Ocelots, this building was getting dangerously close to death. So we brought the Gaia back on, fired one of the Ocelots at the Wolverine there and destroyed it, and the other Ocelot fired at one of these heavy tanks and failed to do anything. Then they warped back through the gate to get to safety. The last Wolverine came around here and tried to provide some more coverage. He got sniped by laser pods from here while all this was firing in. So right now, he has 1 objective off. I have 1 objective off. He is in possession of an objective in that building and an objective laying on the ground there next to his armored formation. And I have 2 objectives booking it here. So right now, it is technically 4-3 in my favor, but that objective is really his. So it's really 4-4 right now. So it could really come down to this focal point. Who can capture the burning flame drake and hold that focal point? So that's the end of 4. We got 2 more turns, and we'll be back at the end of turn 5. Turn 5 has drawn to a close. When we got a close one still going here. The Yaris got their objective off the table. They're sitting there right now. They're actually in reserve at the moment. The Kukris needed to try to stay on the table, so they came over to this gate and dropped their objective with it and moved over here, phased out, but then all these drones came up and destroyed both of them. The drones, 6 of the 8 of them went down to these Kukris. They flew over here and killed 6 of them. He found another objective there in the street. At first, the 3rd anti-air tank had it, but the Tomahawks flew over and destroyed it. The Praetorians came over and got it, got back in their ride. My fast mover came across and destroyed the transport, and then the Rapiers got the fast mover. So right now they are still holding the objective, but their ride's been knocked down. Also, these guys got initiative, and they snuck out with that objective, so they're sitting behind there in their transport. Let's see what else. We also had a pretty good attrition battle here. He is down to 4 of his 9 sabers, but I'm down to 2 of these. I lost 2 of them. He lost a couple of sabers. And I think that pretty much covers it. So we got 1 more turn right now. The score is, let's see, he's holding 1, 2, 3, and he has moved off with 1, so he has 5, and I have moved off with 2, and I'm holding 1, so I have 5. So right now it's 5-5, so focal point could really become important in this one. We will be back after turn 6 to let you know how it turned out. Turn 6 draws to a close with a Shaltari victory. We have piled the center, dog piled it, both of us. I lost all kinds of infantry to artillery blasts. He lost all of his infantry here that came out of that bear from discus launchers, and the commander finished it off with two double damage hits. We dropped the ocelots, brought them up. We just dog piled the center to try to get more points around the downed fire drake. So Shaltari recovered their wreck. I took 3 objectives off, so that's 6 points. He took 2 objectives off for 4 points, and then his Praetorians, they got mauled, but they took all the fire of these Tomahawks. They're standing strong, holding that objective, and this guy's holding this objective, so that gives him 6 to my 6, and then he gets a point for being near this focal point, which brings him to 7, and I get 3 for controlling it. So in the end, a 9-7 Shaltari victory. That was an incredibly close game and a super fun one. Some of the units we got to try out in different ways were very cool. Like he finally got to drop some artillery with that infantry, which proved to be pretty gruesome, pretty powerful. And this was my MVP. This thing stopped tons of damage on that center building and let me use it as an Alamo to hold the position. So link in the description to after action report and army lists and what we thought of the game. If you're playing Dropzone and you're not playing the bonus missions, the extra missions, they're a lot of fun. So give them a try. Play the bonus scenario objectives, and we will see y'all next time. Thanks for watching.